Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be looking at Bleacher Report. They dropped a article ranking every NBA starting lineup after LeBron James signs with Philadelphia. I saw some other people, post videos about this. I've not seen this list, so we're going to be going into it surprised. Bleacher Report they always seem to be dropping some rage bait and some, they just seem to be trolling, honestly, going for clicks. So we're gonna react to this list and see. I'll give my thoughts about it, see what we feel about it. Okay, starting off, we have the Milwaukee Bucks with a projected starting five of Ryan Rollins, Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kyle Kuzma, and Miles Turner. First team on the list, so I guess I don't really have much to compare it to. I mean, yeah, the Bucks will be towards the bottom of the league, or at least they should be. So I guess it isn't too bad so far. I'm interested to see. Obviously, I think they're going to have the Philadelphia 76ers one, but I'm interested to see some other teams. All right, next we got the Brooklyn Nets with a projected lineup of Michael Brown Jr., Igor Demon, Michael Porter Jr., Julius Randle, and Day'Ron Sharp. Um, Yeah, I mean, again, just a bad team. For these lower teams, I'm not gonna have too much of a problem with it, just because, I mean, you know, we're nitpicking between the Nets and the Bucks. I'm not gonna get too worked up about all that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, the Nets aren't gonna have a good team either. I will say I do like this roster more than Milwaukee, so or at least the starting five more than Milwaukee starting five. So far so good. 28 Sacramento Kings, Darius Acuff Jr., Zach Levine, DeAndre Hunter, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis. This is interesting. So let me read a little bit here. It could be another long year for Sacramento fans, although yeah, they must be projecting. Obviously, Demar is not going to be back. Acuff, the number seven overall pick in the draft, has all-star potential. Yeah, I mean, without Demar, obviously this is a bad fit. I feel like Darius Acuff, Zach Levine, they're going to be hunting for shots, and obviously a bad lineup. Honestly, I think yeah, this lineup's better than this Nets lineup just because the talent of Domantas Sabonis and Zach Levine. But again, nothing too crazy so far. 27, Memphis Grizzlies, Ty Jerome, Jalen Wells, Cedric Coward, Cameron Boozer, and Zach Edey. Boozer should be Rookie of the Year and is going to have a premier offensive role immediately in Memphis. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Santi Aldama have both been traded. Yeah, I mean, I actually think this roster could be fun. It's got a good mix of size and, you know, I mean toughness. This honestly seems like a really gritty, tough team. I kind of like this lineup. I don't have much to say about the Grizzlies other than that. It's a good starting five, I suppose. For well, not great, but 26 Chicago Bulls. That is a little sad to see as a Bulls fan. Josh Giddey, Norman Powell, Modest Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, and Nick Claxton. I'm a little biased here. I'll try not to let my biases come out too much. I like this lineup, obviously. I think the Bulls actually have some promise this year. I don't want us to be that good, so I won't really be mad if we're not. But this could be a sneaky little team, as in like a playing team at the ceiling. So I mean, I don't hate it though, where they have us so far. I guess I'll have to see who's next. I do think this is the best starting five that we've seen in this list so far, so I guess that's pretty good. Charlotte Hornets, Kobe White, Con Canuple, Brandon Miller, Naz Reid, and Musa Diabate. Okay. The Charlotte Hornets broke up one of the most dominant high usage lineups in the NBA last season after trading away LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges. I agree. I've been talking to people about this Hornets lineup. I think the Hornets are going to take a step back before they go forward. Uh, Lamelo is really good, and Miles Bridges. They could take it or leave it with him. I'm more just talking about Lamelo. I think people are underrating the amount of shot creation that Lamelo brought to this team. Honestly, these guys like Con Canuple is really young, but I don't know if he's developed enough to where I feel comfortable with him generating offense for himself. Kobe White, he can generate offense for himself, but not he's not the guy that's going to go out there and get everybody else involved. Same thing with Brandon Miller, and then you got Naz Reid and Musa Diabate, who both aren't really shot creators for their teammates. Who in this lineup is creating shots for the next man? I mean, honestly, Kobe White's looking to score. Concanapple is not somebody who's just going to break down, get to the paint, and kick out possession after possession after possession. Brandon Miller, I'd like to see him take a big leap in playmaking, personally, and maybe he will. You know, I I definitely understand like this Hornets lineup. It's good. It's nothing great. I do love the addition of Naz Reid. I think Naz Reid is one of the more underrated big men in the league, especially at that power forward spot. So not too bad, but we'll see. The Los Angeles Clippers. Darius Garland, Chris Dunn, Brandon Ingram, Rui Hachimura, and Brook Lopez. Obviously, this is assuming that the whole Kawhi situation works itself out and, Brandon Ingram actually makes it to the Clippers. Yeah, I mean, this team, I like this team, this lineup, excuse me. I keep saying that, but I like this lineup. Darius Garland provides playmaking. Chris Dunn's a good defender. Brandon Ingram and Rui provide spacing, along with Brook Lopez as well. This lineup is going to struggle on the boards. This is a small lineup. I mean, Darius Garland and Chris Dunn are both smaller, and Brandon Ingram or Rui Hachimura at power forward. He's not somebody who's just going to go, you know, get on the glass and grab a bunch of boards. Neither is Brook Lopez. These guys are not, rebounders. So this team's going to struggle a little bit. I feel like on the glass. Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, Max Christie, Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively. I haven't seen anything super crazy so far. Like, honestly, I feel like most of these placements have been okay. I'm not saying I would agree with every last one of them, but nothing that's like so outrageous that I feel the need to like tweak out or something. But healthy with Kyrie, Max Christie, Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, and Derek Lively. And then they also got Morez Johnson, Jr. out of Michigan. Yeah, it says right here. I think this could be a solid starting five. Um, Derek Lively, PJ. Yeah, I mean, depending on the jump that Cooper Flag makes, if Cooper Flag can become what people think he is, what people think he's going to be quicker than we expect, and Kyrie's healthy, then I could see this lineup being pretty decent. 23rd, that's fine. Washington Wizards. See, this lineup is interesting. This lineup has a lot of like big name star talent. Trey Young, Keyshawn George, AJ Devonsta, Anthony Davis, and Alex Sarr. I like this lineup. I was actually talking about this with my boy Kelby. Um, he was saying that this team was going to be top five in the East, and I think he's tripping for sure. But I said this team could fight for a playing spot, maybe even 7 seed. But if these guys are healthy, obviously the starting five is really nice. I do like the starting five. Anthony Davis doesn't have to play center. DeBonce is gonna, be able to take over a lot of the offense. Trey Young hopefully will allow him to do that. We'll see. They just gave him a big contract. They might give Davis a big contract as well. Next up, we have the New Orleans Pelicans at 21. DeJounte Murray, Trey Murphy III, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, and Derek Queen. I actually like the Wizards lineup more than this, and honestly, I think I like the Mavs lineup more than this too, if healthy. So I guess this is a little high. I feel like. I mean, yeah, the names DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Zion, Derek Queen. The talent is here, obviously, but man, this spacing is not good. I mean, Zion already next to a center who doesn't really shoot is rough. I don't love this team. The wing talent is good. Um, but yeah, trade market. Murphy and Jones. I feel like I've heard both of their names in trades recently, so they might not be there either. I think that's a little high for the Pelicans. Number 20, the Phoenix Suns. We have Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams. I like this lineup. I don't think this is a terrible spot either. This team, they got swept by the Thunder this past season. And, you know, as disheartening as that was, they actually had a really good regular season compared to what a lot of people thought they would. So honestly, if they can stick together with this squad and keep building chemistry along with adding Miles Bridges, that might not be too bad of a placement for them. But the West is just so tough. The West is just so tough. You're gonna need more than this to really make some noise. 19, the Golden State Warriors. Really, really. Yeah, I guess Jimmy's recovering, but Steph, Brandon Podzimski, Yaxel Lindenborg, Draymond, and Kristaps. If we're just assuming these starting fives are healthy, I like this starting five a lot more than maybe some of the other teams. But again, the Warriors have just failed Steph consistently. Steph is carrying this lineup along with Draymond if he's still going to be his usual self on the defensive end. Oh, I see they have an asterisk next to Draymond Green probably because he's not actually signed yet. Yeah. So I like this roster. It sucks that they didn't get LeBron James, and it seems like they're not wanting to leverage any future assets for any players at all. But maybe the Warriors come to their senses and they take a swing. Maybe some star becomes disgruntled around the trade deadline, or somebody's looking to move someone, and they can try to take a swing. It sucks, but it's sad to see Steph down here this low. Next, we have the Orlando Magic: Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bain, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. Yeah, I mean, yeah, on paper, this is good. They're basically coming back with the exact same team, right? So it's interesting. They must believe really that it was the coach for the most part. Paulo went crazy in that playoff series against the Pistons in some of those games. There was a game where he went toe to toe with Cade Cunningham and had like 45. I think he actually scored more than Cade and outplayed him that game. Don't remember if they won, but yeah, I mean Paulo, Franz, and Jalen or Desmond Bain is a solid like three players to have in a starting five. Definitely, 18 is probably around where they're at. I would say so. The Portland Trailblazers, John Morant, Damian Lillard, Tamani Kamara, Denny Abdia, and Donovan Clingan. I just don't understand how Drew Holiday does not get like a starting spot on this team. I know it sounds crazy, and like you can't sit Dame, you can't sit Ja because you're paying him, you just traded for him, and Dame is obviously franchise guy, he gets what he wants. Man, I almost feel like you might be better off going with a three guard lineup, kind of similar to what the Thunder did a few years back with they were running lineups with Shea, Chris Paul, and Dennis Schroeder. Obviously, this is a little different because Denny and Donovan has good size and is a pretty good defender. But man, yeah, this I just don't like the construction of this lineup at all. If I'm Drew Holiday. I'm like, I think I'm better than John Morant personally over these past 2 years. Is he? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but if you want to win games, Drew Holiday might be better, especially next to Dame. You know, that's two small guards, both looking to score. Neither of them defend. Tamani Kamara can stretch the floor. Dame can stretch the floor. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this lineup for Portland better than the Magic or the Warriors lineup, just because of how clunky it is fit wise. I don't. I think they're a little high. 16, the Los Angeles Lakers. Whoa, does this feel low to anybody else? This feels low to me. And I'm not even like a big Lakers like Luca guy necessarily, but you can't deny the talent of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and the addition of Walker Kessler. They have Sandro Mamushvili. Excuse me for the pronunciation. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. I don't. They have a they got they could get Jonathan Kaminga still. I just saw that and it reminded me. They've been linked to Jonathan Kaminga. If they do get Jonathan Kaminga to slide in for Quentin Grimes, because Quentin Grimes is a little undersized to be playing small forward full time, especially on a team whose backcourt is not going to be defending. And I wish this team would have kept Rui. I really wish they would have tried to keep Rui because the spacing with like Rui, Reeves, Doncic, and Grimes would have helped out. Or if they would have gotten Kaminga, I don't know if it really would have been possible for them to get both those guys, or to keep Rui and get Kaminga still. But man, it's yeah. I think this is a little low, honestly. Let's see if I think that they're better than this next team, the Jazz. Keontae George, Darren Peterson, Laurie Markkinen, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Yusuf Nurkic. Yeah, I like the Lakers starting five better than this. And that's not a hit to the Jazz necessarily, but Keontae George, great player, not Luca. Darren Peterson, unproven so far. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's projected to be great, but him and Austin Reeves at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Reeves had a better year than Darren Peterson, just based off the rookie year. Laurie, obviously, he's got Quentin Grimes beat out. Jaren Jackson Jr. obviously has Sandro beat out, and then Walker Kessler will take over Nurkic. And I know you can't just go through and compare like I just did, basically, but and just go one for one. I do think that that Lakers team, if healthy, of course, does have a better lineup than the Jazz. But this is, the Jazz have a good lineup too. The Jazz have a pretty good lineup too. They got a lot of versatility. Miami Heat, Davion Mitchell, Tim Hardaway Jr., Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, and Bam. Man, that's tough between them and the Lakers in terms of roster. But again, the top end talent here. I do like the duo of Giannis and Bam better than Luca and Reeves. Like if I was just starting blank, but the other guys like the fit here, Davion Mitchell, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Andrew Wiggins. There's not another guy in these other three that I feel as good about as Walker Kessler. Um, Offensively and defense, like fit wise, because obviously like Davion Mitchell and Andrew Wiggins are great defenders, but this team's got the defense covered. This team can lock up for sure. This team could cause some problems for some other teams in the East, but I still think I'd take the Lakers over them. Not, but nothing too crazy. It's only a few spots. Okay, this is bad. This one I can't agree with. And I know the Pistons were just the one seed, all that, but we're not just judging it based off of who won the most games last year. This is ranking starting fives, not the whole team, starting fives. Obviously, no issue with Cade Cunningham. No issue with the SAR, but well, actually, there is an issue with the SAR, which is that there's like no spacing here. John Collins, streaky shooter. Jalen Duren, not a shooter. Osar, not a shooter. Cade, also kind of a streaky shooter. The only guy in this lineup that I feel good about shooting wise is Duncan Robinson, but the issue with him is he's probably also, not he's not a small forward for a full season. That's just not what you want. This team obviously lost Tobias Harris. I'd feel a lot better if Tobias Harris was in this lineup at a small forward spot or at the power forward spot, either one. This is a little high just for starting fives. These ads, uh, for starting fives, I wouldn't have this that high. Not too much lower, but that team needs some work. 12, Minnesota Timberwolves. We got LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Io DeSumo, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. Shout out to Io. Uh, he's a bull for life. Once a bull, always a bull. I love Io DeSumo. This is a good lineup. This is a real good lineup. What does it say? It's 12. Lots of the other teams ahead, but I like this lineup a lot. LaMelo, he can space and play make. Anthony Edwards, we know what he does. Io DeSumo, great defender. Jaden McDaniels, also a great defender who can space the floor. At least if he plays like he did in that playoff series against the Nuggets. Rudy Gobert, insane on defense. I mean, this team has just this starting five. Man, if they could have kept Nas Reed, I'd have felt real good about this. I know they, had to trade somebody for LaMelo Ball, but I like this lineup. I like the starting five. It's good. It's real good. Moving on, number 11, the Boston Celtics. I don't know about that, y'all. Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Paul George, Jason Tatum, Mitchell Robinson. It's a good starting five. It's a good starting five. Is it better than the Timberwolves? I don't think so. And like I like Paul George. Um, I like Paul George. He's one of my favorite players, but at the same time, he's older. Another year of wear and tear. Jason Tatum coming off the Achilles injury, obviously. Mitchell Robinson being your starting center. He's a great backup. Obviously, he showed that for the Knicks, but Mitch Robinson's like a 20 to 25 at most minutes a night guy to me. He's not a guy you want playing 30 minutes, and maybe they won't, make him do that. But Peyton Pritchard can get picked on. He'll provide some offense. Derek White had a horrible playoffs. If he can bounce back and be the Derek White from 2, 3 years ago, you feel better about it. But again, I don't really necessarily hate this placement. It's just not where I would have them. Number 10, the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of the Raptors this year. We have Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, Kawhi Leonard, Scotty Barnes, and Jakob. You know, this lineup has, I mean, I don't know. I like this team a lot, guys. I'm a little biased. I have some stock in Kawhi Leonard, Raptors doing well. Just some like bets with friends and stuff, bragging rights, I suppose. I actually picked Kawhi Leonard to be my dark horse MVP for this year, and my thinking behind that was just like him on this team. That Raptors team was young, they were feisty, and they took the Cavs to 7 games with Brandon Ingram either not playing or when he was playing terrible. He averaged like 12 points that series. You take that away and you insert Kawhi Leonard, who last season probably had his best season, uh, numbers wise, maybe ever in his career. I think that if he can stay healthy, obviously that's what we're doing. We're assuming health here. This Raptors team could make the ECF, and potentially they could contend for the championship. They could make it out of the East, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of things are going to have to go right, going to have to bounce their way. Health wise, they're going to have a good regular season. But Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard, that's an insane duo. This East is starting to remind me a little bit, weirdly enough, of when the last time Kawhi was on the Raptors. I remember Giannis and on the Bucks had a series against them, and they built a wall. This team is kind of built in a similar way to build a wall. I mean, they don't have Marc Gasol. They don't have, you know, a big like that you feel super comfortable with. I know Jakob, he was kind of up and down. I'd like to try to get a better center for them. But other than that, I mean, like RJ Barrett, quickly, Kawhi, Scotty. That's a great like 4 guys to have out there, and then Jakob will figure it out. Number 9, the Houston Rockets. Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabbar Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. I'm excited to see Fred back out there. Fred has not been able to play. It feels like we haven't gotten Fred VanVleet on a basketball court in quite some time. They could have used him in that Lakers series instead of Reed Shepard because Reed Shepard just looked like a deer in headlights. He looked like a chicken running around with his head cut off. Turnovers, bad mistakes, inefficient. So hopefully, if Fred VanVleet can calm the offense down a little bit, get guys set up in better spots, let Reed Shepard come off the bench and have to focus on scoring, not just playmaking for everybody else and turning the ball over. I like this team. I like this starting five. Tari Eason also off the bench. Um, He got a new contract as well. Yeah, the issue with this team is going to be the same as it was this past year, and it's just going to be, can you get enough? Well, Kevin Durant was hurt, but can you get enough outside of KD's offense? You know, Amen, not a great offensive player yet. Jabari really is just like you want him catch and shoot at this point. Yeah, at this point of his career. Alperen Sengun, he can create for himself, but man, it's just sometimes he's just really inefficient with those looks down low, and he can kind of get tunnel vision. So hopefully Fred will help them out a little bit though. Maybe get the pick and roll game going. Number 8, we have the Atlanta Hawks. This feels high. This feels real high. I don't even know if I like this 5 better than the Lakers or most of the other teams that we had after them. I don't like this team better than the Timberwolves. I don't like this team better than the Rockets. And you know, I'm not trying to hate on the Hawks, but like CJ McCollum, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, and Onyeka Okongwu. This is basically the same. This is like the same starting 5 from last season. Let's see what they say. They say this is one of the sneaky best starting lineups in the NBA. I don't know. Hawks will run back their same 5 after agreeing with CJ McCollum. Yeah, I mean, I guess they had a good net rating. Maybe I'm sleeping on this Hawks starting 5. Um, CJ's obviously a good player. Nikhil Alexander Walker. They just traded Zachary Richardson, and they got Lou Dort. I wouldn't be surprised if Lou Dort started a lot of games for them at that small forward spot for Dyson Daniels. Lou Dort provides good defense as well, but he can actually provide at least something on offense. Dyson Daniels is just not an offensive player at all. He has a terrible offensive skill set, and that could hold them back, especially in the half court. And it did hold them back, especially in the half court, because Jalen Johnson, he has shaky playoffs as well. He's got to get better in the half court. And then Onyeka, I like Onyeka Okongwu quite a bit actually. Number 7, the Cleveland Cavaliers. We got James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. This is a really good starting 5. I think the Cavs are also in the mix for Jonathan Kuminga, and I just saw that they might also be in the mix for DeMar DeRozan. This team, this lineup, obviously is built for regular season success. They've shown that over the past few years. James Harden is not going to let his teams be bad in the regular season. And a defensive infrastructure surrounded or centered by Evan Mobley is going to win you games. So, yeah, I mean, they got Malik as well in the draft, and then you also have Jalen Tyson off the bench. He could probably I like this lineup. It's a good lineup. You know, number 6, the Spurs. Wow, that's low. De'Aaron Fox, get him out of here. Uh, we don't need De'Aaron Fox in the lineup. We'd rather have Dylan Harper there. Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Julian Champagne, Victor Wembanyama alone should. Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper alone because they need to get Fox off. I know he's probably going to start because of that contract. You can have him coming off the bench, but I don't know. This team feels a little low. That's all I'll say for now. Denver, yeah, give me the Spurs starting 5 over Denver. I love Nikola Jokic, also one of my favorite players, but unfortunately at this point, Christian Braun, it's a bad contract. Aaron Gordon, he can't stay healthy, and I know I said I was assuming health, but Aaron Gordon just hasn't been there. And Cameron Johnson, streaky shooter, you brought him in to be the Michael Porter Jr. replacement, hoping he could give you a little more than him at less money, and he hasn't really done that. This starting 5 is slowly starting to get not bad, but just not great, I guess. But we got the Indiana Pacers at number 4. Wow, that's crazy. Tyrese, Andrew Nemhard, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal, and Zubac. This is way too high. I know this team just went to the finals a couple years ago, but they also just had one of the worst seasons in record-wise in the NBA last year. At 4, I mean, this is the same team, but with Zubac and Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, if we'd have done a starting 5 before, they'd have probably been down at the bottom, and to just add those two guys and take it all the way up to number 4, it seems a little crazy to me. I know Tyrese provides a lot of value. He's almost like Steve Nash-esque, where the offense, like the engine, is ran through him, and without him, it makes a huge difference. I get that, but man, that seems a little high. It seems like real high, actually. The New York Knicks at at 3. No, no. This Knicks team. Let me. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG, and Karl Anthony Towns. This that's crazy to have them anything less than 1. Honestly, I mean, this team just won a championship, and their biggest strength was that depth of the starting 5, not like having a bad player in that starting 5. Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously it's top 3, so like you don't want to really complain, but nah, this has got to be 1 in my opinion. Oklahoma City Thunder. You lose Lou Dort. You lose Aaron Wiggins. Chet Holmgren played horrible. Shea, Casey Wallace, Jalen Williams. I mean, this team is going to be insane in the regular season. Also, but give me the Knicks starting five over them. I mean, if you have Alex Caruso on this team, who I like as well, but I would rather have the Knicks starting five. Even the Spurs starting five at this point, I would take over them. I think number one, no surprise, Old Man Braun, 76ers. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jalen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. That is an insane starting five. Just off the names, insane. And yeah, we're assuming health. So if Joel Embiid's there and all these guys are here, I mean, that's crazy. I think I would still have the Knicks ahead of them. This feels a little living in the moment, a little overreactive, but they're probably, you know, two or three other than that. This list was not great. This list was definitely not great. I think the Pelicans were too high. I think the Warriors were too low. The Pacers were way too high. Spurs too low. Yeah, Hawks too high. Even the Rockets actually might be too high. Now that I think about it, I like this Raptors team better than the Rockets. Yeah, I don't know. Bleacher Report has some questionable teams, but that's Bleacher Report. That's what we did. We reacted to it. Let me know if I was tripping at any of these or what you guys think, any opinions or things you have to say. I appreciate you for watching. See you next time.